Good afternoon. Today, a few minutes ago, in the Middle District of Alabama, a grand jury returned an 11-count indictment charging the Southern Poverty Law Center with 6 counts of wire fraud, 4 counts of bank fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering. According to the charges in the indictment, the SPLC is a nonprofit entity that purports to fight white supremacy and racial hatred by reporting on extremist groups and conducting research to inform law enforcement groups with the goal of dismantling these groups. As the indictment describes, the SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred.
Well, it looks like the Southern Poverty Law Center has been exposed. They have been funneling millions of dollars to the KKK and other quote-unquote white supremacist groups. Am I shocked by it? Absolutely not. They have been pushing this falsehood that racism is alive and well and a danger to everybody. In reality, the demand for racism far more significant than the supply of racism. According to the Associated Press article about this, it states that the Southern Poverty Law Center was indicted on federal charges for secretly paying leaders of the Ku Klux Klan and other hate groups, the total amounting to more than $3 million paid through a now defunct program that was designed to infiltrate white supremacist and other extremist groups. Southern Poverty Law Center had no intentions of dismantling these groups. They understand how profitable it is to continue the fight against racism, even though racism was basically dead up until the past 10 years. It's all a fraud. I'm really happy that they finally got caught doing this because they have caused so much division and hatred in our society, and this just proves that it was all fake to begin with. Now let's take a look at what the FBI Director Kash Patel had to say about this.
I'd like to ask Director Patel to say a few words as well.
Thank you, General Blanche. What we're here today is to announce what the General just told you. The Southern Poverty Law Center, in a massive, sweeping indictment, has been charged with allegations of fraud and using the banking system to perpetrate that fraud. I just want to talk about a couple of brief things here. The Southern Poverty Law Center themselves advertise to raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They use their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. I just want to say that again. They used the fraudulently raised money by lying to their donor network, thousands of Americans, to go ahead and actually pay the leadership of these supposed violent extremist groups. The groups, as the General laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right, National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front. In at least one of these matters, our investigation revealed that funds were used to facilitate the commission of further state and federal offenses, totaling over $3 million. Furthermore, our investigation revealed that the Southern Poverty Law Center, on top of perpetuating this widespread, decade-long, multi-million-dollar fraud, conducted more criminal activity. They attempted to hide their criminal activity from our financial banking network. They set up shell companies and entities around America so that the financial institutions that we rely on as everyday Americans were deceived in believing that money was not coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center in the perpetration of this scheme and fraud, but rather fictitious entities they stood up to perpetuate this ongoing fraud. This is a serious and egregious violation of a group that purported to dismantle violent extremist groups, but in turn actually only fueled the hatred. This is an important case brought by President Trump's administration. We're thankful to the president for his leadership and funding of not just the FBI and DOJ, but his commitment to go out there and wipe out fraud and conspiracy and waste and abuse wherever it occurs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even though this money was made to appear to be coming from legitimate people and legitimate entities, we at the FBI, with our great partners at the Department of Justice and in the state of Alabama, were able to comb through a decade worth of material, a scheme that took a decade to build, so that we were able to follow the money, because money never lies, and they got caught. As the Attorney General said, these charges are varying, they are widespread and wide-ranging, and this investigation is very much ongoing. Today, we're here to announce the charges of the Southern Poverty Law Center, and this investigation and the individuals who are responsible will be brought to justice. Thank you, General.
Thank you, Director Patel. With any questions?
Hopefully, some real consequences come from this. We can't allow these organizations to do stuff like this. They perpetuate hate and division in this country, and it gets innocent people killed. And I really hope that the Trump administration starts going after other organizations that do the same practice, that stoke division, that stoke societal instability, and just stoke riots that cause a lot of property damage and gets innocent people killed. There really needs to be severe oversight on these organizations. And that's it for this video. I just wanted to point out the hypocrisy that these left-wing organizations hold. They want to fight racism, but they're also funding racism. It's crazy. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, and turn on the notifications for more videos just like this.